Hey everybody, Edo here, and this is Unlock Game Adventures. Now, I've reviewed many Unlocks over the years. I'm a big fan of escape room and exit room games. If you're not familiar with the Unlock series, their claim to fame, I guess, is that all of the cards are reusable and you're never tearing or breaking any cards. So it's the combination of cards and an app to let you play effectively in an escape room in 45 minutes to an hour, but one that you can play again and again or play with other people or lend or whatever. And so they've created a system of combining different cards and card values so that you can say like, oh, the 13 card goes with the 17 card in the upper right. Therefore, I'm going to take 13 plus 17, the 30 card out from the deck, and maybe it's the right card, maybe it's the wrong card. But basically, they use some core app and game and card mechanics so that you can play these unlocks without needing to reuse the cards. Or to damage the cards. I was at I think Games of Berkeley, in fact, in Berkeley, California, and they have I was playing every single unlock, and I stopped for a while, and I was just looking at all the ones I hadn't played, and I saw this one, and clearly it's based on games that Ticket to Ride, Pandemic, Mysterium, so it was cool. I was like, this is going to be interesting. I sent the picture to my wife, asked her if she would be interested in checking it out. She said yes, and I bought it. Unlock, they have this down. The cards are great. They give you the rules. They give you the play-by-play, sort of choice by choice if you get stuck. The app, well, a little dated and like could improve from just like a usability perspective, works, and a really nice combination of mechanics. So I've yet to find an Unlock game I didn't enjoy. This is no different. This is really easy to recommend. The question here, I think, is like, how good a job is it at being evocative to these three games? And do you need to have played these games to enjoy this Unlock? And so I would say, first, you certainly don't have to be familiar with any of these games to enjoy the Unlocks. You might feel some ideas are a little esoteric and odd along the way in terms of why is it like this? And perhaps there are a few clues that I think you benefit from having played the original games. But honestly, I think this is a good Unlock. Each of the sets is interesting. You don't need to know the games to enjoy this. I wouldn't let the fact that it's these games preclude you. One has to do with trains and travel and that kind of thing. One has to do with a mystery and a house, and the other has to, killing, and the other has to do with a pandemic. Like, the themes are the themes and they carry through. However, if you are familiar with the games, I do think there's some novelty. I do think Ticket to Ride has some fun moments around how you think about the game board and work through playing Ticket to Ride that, like, having played Ticket to Ride, it's like, oh, that's sort of like what you do in Ticket to Ride. It has that extra, like, moment in it that works, and that one was reasonably straightforward, and I dug that one. In terms of the Pandemic one, I would say this one's the most thematically sort of one-to-one to the game, but there are a lot of fun and interesting elements to how you think about maps and visuals and stuff. It also has a couple super crafty puzzles in there. It's the hardest one. It was a lot of work. The Pandemic one. It definitely had you going. And then I think, the tie to the games here I think were pretty straightforward. The Mysterium one was, I think, the most interesting. I'm trying not to spoil anything, but Mysterium is a game that has, it's sort of like Dixit, where you're like trying to put imagery together to get somebody to think about something. And so having the game do that as you're playing through the cards in interesting ways, I thought was in some ways like the most natural evocation of the game mechanic in this other version where you have a similar mechanic in a way that makes sense and it isn't obtuse. Or maybe it is obtuse, but isn't on the nose. Whereas the other ones, you're like, I could see what game mechanic they were trying to get you to see. Anyway, it's in the weeds. If you like Unlocks, you'll like it. If you haven't played an Unlock, you should play it. If you aren't familiar with these games, don't let that stop you. And if you like these games and you like Unlocks, it's just that little extra bit to get you excited. So, Unlock. Hey everybody, Edo here, and thanks
for watching Gaming with Edo. Reviews over here on this playlist, League and Insider videos over here on this one. Subscribe, share, all that good stuff. But most importantly, play some great games. Thanks.